welcome back, folks, to Midwest Linux Gaming. I'm your host, as usual, Stompin' Llama, and today we have the demo for the Baleful Tower. Now, this is, granted, a $3 indie game over on Steam. So, unless it's something particularly terrible, $3 is $3. I mean, that's less than a gallon of gas nowadays. It has been less than a gallon of gas for a while now. Like, quite a while. I don't want to think about that. Now, I will say, it did require me to switch it to experimental Proton in order to get it to launch. Not unusual for some of these indie games. Runs on the Unreal Engine, which is surprising because that normally just launches. Like, that's normally not one you have to run a special version of Proton for. Okay. Okay, so we have hitboxes appear to be a little precise, but it's not the worst in the world we've seen. Lack of a melee is, I won't say problematic, but it's not the greatest feeling. Oh, there's time limits. And there's scores in order to... Oh no, frozen! Now we just gotta find this wonderful, glorious exit. There it is. Do take a lot of damage. Okay. Oh, break containers. So it does list straight up objectives. Interesting. Question is, where is this exit? Oh, it does point. It does have a pointer. I should pay attention to that. Big shot, life seed. The fact that it is also timed is like an interesting thing. Some additional cash, I suppose, never hurts. Bombs. We definitely don't have the cash for those. Uh-oh. Really small floor. Artifacts. We don't. Artifacts are just random polygons lying around. Interesting. Not the worst thing in the world. Given the preciseness of the hitboxes, basically being forced to stand still is probably the best thing. That can happen. Which is still not ideal. Okay, now where is the exit? Golly gee willikers, frozen! Okay, this is getting a little hectic because it's requiring me to murder enemies, and this is not good. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh no, oh no, oh no. Health? Oh god. Stop sliding, you son of a gun! Thank you! Holy cow. Get to the exit. Okay, that got very hairy very quickly. Ooh. Well, that just goes to show you can't just tank every hit. Which is true. Oh! Holy crap. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh god. Now, I did expect it to be a fairly short demo. I mean, it is a one-person project after all. And like I said, $3 for something that I believe is a fully completed game at this point. The question is, of course, how was he able to, of course, follow through on all his promises? That is the question. And honestly, giving you a ranged class is not the worst decision you could make for a demo of a roguelike. 2 classes probably would have been better, especially a melee, because that might be able to show off what your melee is. But, oh, that's what that is. We've only found 3 of the 4 artifacts. That's concerning. I must have missed one somewhere. Of course it would be over here where I hadn't looked. The haste ability is, seems, I'd say it's a little broken, but I just ran into whatever that was. Breaking the boxes appears to be one of the more generous ones when it comes to timing and all that. Oh, not a kill another enemy's floor. Well, that guy just drops health. That's probably because he is a heart. I was about to say enemies are being less common. Which was true up until now. Ooh. Ability strengthened. Not entirely sure about this whole precise shot thing they've got going on, but ooh, more mana. Yes. Haha. Catch me if you can, suckers. Of course, it's further this direction. Magnetic field. Bombs. Oh, that life seed is in fact tempting. But I doubt we're gonna get enough coins to get that. Yeah, faster projectiles may help. $781. Ah, not enough time. Withstand the damage. Okay, that just seems like that's an interesting design. At least they were aware enough of their design to be like, okay, we need a guy who specifically drops extra amounts of health. Like, that's a self-aware level of game design you don't see very often. Like I said, it's not bad for someone's first attempt at a commercial-ish product. Oh, 200 damage. Now that... Oh, deal damage. It's like, why is it not going up? Right, because that's deal damage, not withstand damage. That's a bit of a problem. Whoops. That was my bad. Reading comprehension, my worst problem. Sometimes it's terrible. Sometimes. Okay, random essence, 1,500. 15. Well, we're definitely not going to be getting anywhere. Of course, there's the infinite question of what happens when you die. But given how quickly Emperor Penguin died last time... Oh god. He does hurt like a son of a gun. Oh, come on. Ah, so close. Ah, so close. Bound to happen. And that was under the tutorial, which is pretty much the same thing, which is just a different floor 0. Not the worst thing in the world. I want to say well, I was going to say, I've played rougelikes before. But normally they're more the traditional rogue style. But that's predominantly just a me thing. That's mostly because I'm not the biggest fan of the twin-stick shooter style controls. Just something about the moving in 2 directions just does not do my brain justice. Just does not do justice in my brain. I'm not saying I don't get it and I can't use it. It's just... not the style I'm used to. Ranged defense, that's good. No, 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 no! The sliding forever. I didn't see which direction that pointed. It's probably because there wasn't one. There have been no arrows pointing the direction. There it is. Oh. That's it. It's not a bad... even for a demo. Well, extremely short for a demo. you do get the basics of what they're going for. Though, like I said, an additional melee class would not have gone amiss just to see how your melee combat is. But he might not have had it fleshed out at the time. Ooh, a gold. Collect this amount of gold. Multiplier time. There we go. There's the withstand damage. Probably should let him hit me. There we go. Damage has been withstood. Ooh. Magnetic field. Oh, we're so close on that one. The 3 random level ups. We are so close on that one. Yes. Maximum mana and look like a cooldown. Whoa! Whoa, buddy! I'm not that's myself, but... Oy, ay, ay. Oh no, got frozen! At least enemies stop when they're in the, when you're in the shop. $21. That's a lot of containers to break. Almost excessive, but I will say the generation of the dungeons, while simplistic enough, that's not bad. Like, there's not been that much repetition. Well, yes, most things are in fact squares and rectangles, as you'd expect, because they're easy enough to generate. It's been not anything, well, not anything special. It's not been bad. I think we'll get to Penguin again and then call it. Because again, it is $3. That's not a lot of money. And if it is any encouragement to a dev, especially a new dev, a solo dev, bombs. Yeah, we don't have time for that. Time does not stop. I'm not sure we're gonna get to the exit in time. Oh, just barely. That was far closer than it had any right to be. Oh. Like, by far closer than it had any right to be. Penguin darting around. Did I just get extremely lucky that first time around? I think I got lucky in that I beat him. Like, his erratic movement is terribly annoying. Like, you think it might follow a system of bouncing, but it doesn't seem to necessarily. Oh. Oh. So. That's the demo, as I expected for Baleful Tower to be fairly short. I mean, that is to be expected. I'm not sure what its status is on updates. Let's check SteamDB. Because there's nothing really on Steam itself about the Baleful Tower. Like, there's been no... Okay, they did have an update as of 2 months ago. Okay. And it was released in November of 24, so it has, in fact, received updates. Let's see. Version 1.0 was released in November. That was to be expected. Early access. It was early accessed apparently in 2022. Okay, and that was more just a bug fix for classes getting stuck locked. And he did consider it complete as of November 24, which was when he launched the 1.0 build. And it does have 12 classes. Okay. So he was able to get 12 planned classes out. And I'm assuming the 7 biomes as well. Yes. So roughly 100 floors. And new enemy types. So it is in fact a completed thing, and he has updated it as necessary. Okay. It's just weird that, you know, that none of these updates. He's been posting them to the Steam community as opposed to the the main pages update things where a lot of Game devs will put out like major update, news things on the Steam page. While different, that's not the worst thing in the world, I suppose. So it is a completed game, and I'll grant him this. He had a scope. As a dev, if you have a scope, that's good. And if he stuck to his scope, he completed his scope, and the project is done, barring various small updates and things like that. So I'll give him this. He stuck to his guns. He had a vision. He made his vision, and now it's out available for less than $5. Like less than $5. And given how it runs, and it runs, as we can see, extraordinarily well. Not that graphically intensive, but it has enough of an art style to it. It very much a art style very reminiscent of like what would now be called old school RuneScape. Trust me. When I think old school RuneScape, I do not think of what most new RuneScape players think of as old school RuneScape. But that's because that version no longer exists. And it, even just this Ranger class, which, again, personal preference, I would have preferred 2 classes. One melee, one ranged, just so you can get a feel of both of them. But, one is the bare minimum about what I would have expected. I would have preferred, like I said, 2, but that's just me literally repeating myself multiple times. Because a stream is extremely short if this is all we say. Now, he did say in his 1.0 launch announcement that he is working on another game, or will be. And this, he said, was a side project, which most indie devs, they're not going to be able to turn game development into their whole everything unless it goes viral, and chances are your game's not going to go viral. Does this deserve more optics? Yeah. Like I said, it plays well, it's got a unique art style, it doesn't seem particularly bad. Maybe a little shallow considering you only get like 3 abilities per character. And for most roguelikes, you need some type of variability in there. But considering if the other classes have a more diverse moveset, that's not the worst in the world. Enemies seem to be a little, I don't want to say hit or miss, because they're really not. But it doesn't seem bad. Like, it's not a bad game. And for $3, yeah, if you look for other games on sale on Steam, you'll probably find other games, like, of much higher caliber for less. But generally, that's because they're on sale. They've been around a while. This is one guy's passion project over 3 years. And like I said, there's one thing that can be said. He had a vision, and he stuck to it, and he finished it. That's more than what a lot of people can do. Like, a lot of people, once they get into the development project, they will scope creep. This guy was able to keep it within scope. That is rare. That is rare in game dev and in games in general. It's very, very easy to be just let it creep. That is sometimes hard to see from the outside, but sometimes easy. Best example I can give for something like that happening is, as much as I love the game, and I stream the game, Final Fantasy XIV, Dawn Trail in particular, it had more bugs than previous expansions, but the amount of content they put into it was more than they've done in the past. So there's definitely scope creep there, and just expectation and content creep. And sometimes that shows with minorly slipping quality. Now, as Dawn Trail's gone on, there's been a lot less of that. Like they've been able to go back and really iron out the quality problems that have happened. But this guy was able to keep within spec and just plug it out. Like, I don't know what his next plan is. His next game is going to be. He actually didn't say. Like, he's given no hints that I can tell. But it's definitely a possibility of it being pretty potentially decent. Is it a shame that there has not been a lot of people who've played this game? Yeah. I mean, that's happens. It is an indie game from a very niche community and a very niche, a very small developer, so it's not likely you've heard of it. For $3, you might as well. I mean, there are 12 classes. As much as I'd like to be able to say we should see more, well, that's up to you. For $3, to throw into the hat of some lone solo indie developer, especially considering it doesn't use any notable assets that I could see, I'd say it's worth it. Besides, you never know what their next project is going to be. So, having said all that, which is mostly me just pondering back and forth on game dev from an outside perspective, mostly because I've yet to fully solidify my own design documents and time schedules. Yeah, that's the Baleful Tower. 100-floor tower, which is pretty straightforward as far as roguelikes go. It's pretty standard. So having said all of that and waxed back and forth about technically praising the guy for having completed a project that runs well and it's at the very least given him experience in the engine. You can see the multiple thousands of frames in the corner. That is... God, I love it when it's like your highest of like 4,000, 5,000, 9,000 frames. It's like, good God, we're hovering around 3,900 frames. Yeah, having said all of that, next stream is going to be more Neo 2. In fact, probably a side mission and maybe a main mission all in one. Happening tomorrow, Saturday, June 6th, at 2 p.m. Eastern. I should probably have more things done. I've got the demos planned out as far as I have downloaded, but there's room to maneuver them. I also think I've got the completed list of games of both library, demos and the game list of games to play to completion, mostly all ironed out. It has taken longer than I thought, but that's mostly because of formatting for the document. That's a personal thing. Because if I'm going to keep track of things on an external document, it needs to look good, especially if people are going to look at it. This is a me thing. It's I guess you could say it's an OCD thing. It's just if it's going to be accessible to multiple people, to everybody, it needs to look and be functional in multiple ways, even though you guys won't be able to edit it, but you will be able to see it. But we'll see you all next time. Till then.